Alrighty. Let's see. What we got? What we got? Let's see. Who's coming in? Let's see who's coming in. Nope, that's not what I want. This here. We got one person in the live. I'll take that one. Yes. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, let me check and make sure I got audio. I don't think y'all realize how important that is. I think I got it. DreamWorks Media, yo, what's going on? Welcome to the other side of the tech news world. Let's see. We got a few more people coming in. Great, thumbs up. Let's go ahead and get the housekeeping out of the way real quick. So, greetings and salutations. First of all, thank y'all for stopping by. If you want to submit, let's pull this up while I'm speaking. If you want to contribute to the channel and you got some super tech news that you been itching to want to hear somebody talk about, you can go to the Twitter/X. I'm gonna forever call it Twitter because I'd be doggone if I call it X on a regular basis. Send this to and not DM but post it directly to the page on Twitter, on this thing called Twitter. It used to be called. And then also at Community Tech and at Keon81, which is my other handle that I do, my personal, where I talk personally. I don't do anything on the channel Twitter because I'm trying to be professional. But basically, get a conversation started around it. See what the story is going to be like. I can link directly to it, pull it up into my profile so I can read it, different things like that. So this is the free 99 way of doing it. I'm not as active, which is why you got to add both the channel and myself. I have the X app on my phone, but the notifications won't kick in unless I get a lot of messages popping up at the same time. So, but that's one way. That's the free 99 way. The other way is being a member of the channel. So memberships are live. Yes, I'm starting out small, working my way up. But yeah, so being a member gives you access to behind the scenes for all the tiers above the first tier. So I think the first tier is I'm not 100% sure. I gotta go back and look. But basically, you get behind the scenes access. You see what the thought process is going to be for the channel. I'm not trying to keep anything secretive. Some people want to be able to contribute. This is another way to be able to contribute through memberships. So those are the two ways of doing it. This evening we got some the tech news that I'm going down is going to be revolving around the cellular industry. Some big news popped up with Verizon. Some combining news from different sources popped up for U.S. Cellular, and T-Mobile. Jim, what's going on? How you doing? So you got some T-Mobile, some Verizon, AT&T, not so much. Music streaming, your particular device of choice, getting standalone, earbuds and FCC, gaming. So, so an open secret about gaming that I think a lot of people should know by now. Yeah, I don't know if they don't know. Let's see. Jim says, "Do we have to be on the live if we become a subscriber?" They're inside the memberships. If you're a member, then you can come on the live that way. I'm also working on a way that if you don't want to be on the memberships, but you still want to be live, to do it through what is it? Do it through uh super chats. Me personally, I think that when people do donate money to different YouTubers, that's your voice, and I would like to hear your voice. So for the most part, I want to do something along the lines of the using the super chats with coming on live. I think real ones, people who are actually going to put the money where their mouth is, are going to be a more truer out person. So that I'm going to end up probably doing something along the lines of that. I don't know quite how I'm going to do the setup yet, but I'm thinking about it. Uh, nobody has really given me any super chats of late through this channel just yet. But I would say somewhere about I would say about $20 if you want to come up and say something. I haven't really thought everything all the way out through, but still working on it. It's a work in progress. But I do want to hear from people who truly want to say something and be able to say it live. Is that a risk? Yes. But I didn't name my YouTube channel community channel because it was the only thing available. I do genuinely like talking to people. So um let's see. Dreams, he says, I'm going to switch to Verizon soon. I'm on T-Mobile. Hey, with that being said, I would say that as long as the service is good for you in your area, you should always do what's best for your bottom line. If you're switching to Verizon, you might want to go to what is it? Either Total or Visible, since it seems like you're getting the same access as if you were going to be on Verizon proper. So that should be maybe your personal choice. But let's see here. We got EV batteries. Tesla tech guy. He said, "Where are the EV haters?" Hey, there's no haters in here, man. There's no haters. We got some stories on EV batteries. Legislation in Washington D.C., where I reside. They're working on adoption for EV cars. The Kia boys are back, and Elon Musk and I would say some parody, some extreme parody with their products and movies. So let's see here. Oh, and Tesla Tech guy, long time, long time. It's been a while. All right, so starting with the first news of tonight, Verizon has opened the purses. They're making it rain in the club. Hold up. Oh, let's see. U.S. Sailor. money. All right, so Verizon has made a deal with US Cellular to buy spectrum licenses for $1 billion. So, um, the long and short of it, basically, this deal is predicated on what what is it? It's predicated on the whether or not US Cellular and T-Mobile deal goes through the FCC and the DOJ, which I'm going to jump out on a limb, and I'm probably going to say that it will get done. Even with now, Verizon is looking to buy some more spectrum from US Cellular. With this article, got tongue tied. In Yahoo Finance, say that three times fast. But basically, Verizon is buying up some of the spectrum that's left over from the buyout trade of the financial side of US Cellular to T-Mobile and some spectrum offerings. So Verizon is looking to get 663 million megahertz of pops of the 850 megahertz spectrum. So I think what is that? Band 5 and 11 million pops of AWS. So that would be, what is that? Like the two below 2 megahertz. 19 million megahertz pops of PCS. But US Cellular is not as prevalent through the United States. They do have pockets, and they only purchased spectrum in areas that they were pretty affluent in. So I think this is a pretty good purchase. It's going to make it easier for the transaction to go through. I think that Verizon probably was not ready for. I think that Verizon wasn't completely ready for when T-Mobile was getting ready to pull the trigger. So for me, I think that this makes for a very good offering. Let's see here. Let's pull this up so you get a good idea about what US Cellular is. If you have never used Spectrum Omega, you should go to their website, donate to their website. This is a very good public resource. Very good public resource. And let me pull this up. Stop presenting. So, US Cellular, being the operator, doesn't really operate in a whole lot of places that their competitors operate in. So, US Cellular. So, the spectrum they do have was the 600. They got the 700. I think this is the 800 side, 800, 850 side of the spectrum that is going to Verizon right here. So probably they're probably getting these sections here that's highlighted. I think US Cellular had more 600 nationwide than they had 700. I know that this is what T-Mobile's probably trying to grab up. And this is the AWS. Yes, these blocks are kind of small, but the bigger chunks, depending on the PEAs. So West Virginia, US Cellular was going to have a hard time competing in this market where the juggernauts are consolidating. This might be what they were going after too, right here for U.S. Sailor, that ABWS chunks. That's another big chunk. And Verizon's probably is already leasing it from U.S. Sailor, so it only makes sense for them to go ahead and own it. Put that there. This AWS chunk. These are smaller chunks. And the PCS. So the Maine, Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas. What's this? Missouri, chunks of Missouri. This is probably what they're going to end up going after. Oh, hold on 1 second. Oh, Brandon.
What's up, sir?
What's up, man? What's happening?
Trump got
What?
a new job.
Who? What's going on? What's happening, man? Hey, you heard? He's on sabbatical.
Oh yeah. Never mind. I forgot about that. What story?
With Verizon buying $1 billion worth of spectrum from U.S. Cellular, predicated on the fact that if the U.S. Cellular T-Mobile deal goes through. I'm just showing everybody the PCS that's going to possibly be going to Verizon with this deal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's chunks of PCS that Verizon is probably going to need, and they're supposed to be getting the 850 megahertz spectrum also from them.
Well,
But
T-Mobile also owns a 850, or was supposed to.
they had the 800.
No, they have 26. The band 26. That's
I think
850.
band 26. I think band 26 is 800.
No, 800 is 25.
850s in. I think 850s in 5 or band 5.
Let me
Depending on
see. Let me see. Band 50. Okay, well, it's band 5.
It should be 850.
Yeah, it's 850. Well, I know T-Mobile. I mean, the Sprint also owned 850.
No, it was the 8. Sprint had the 800, which is
No,
band 26.
they also owned 850.
If they did, they must have divested themselves from it before the
Yeah.
merger. They must have divested themselves from it before the merger because I know that they were mandated to sell that off, and that's what they're trying to do right now: is sell off the 800.
Yeah,
Dish, remember, Dish supposed to.
the 850 is 26, so they might throw it out in the yard sale.
Hey man, hey look, here's the thing: T-Mobile did get rid of. T-Mobile did get rid of the what is it? They got rid of the DoD and sold that off.
Well, yeah, because they're
Let's see, Mr. Sneed is here to correct me. Yes. So let's see. Sprint owned 800. They never had 850. The 850 is band 5 and 800 is band 26. Thank you very much, sir.
Let me see.
So with Verizon being part of this deal, I think that this is going to raise the chances of it clearing a whole lot better than it was if T-Mobile was doing it by itself. and 1900 is band 25, and band 2, depending on how you like to play with it.
I really don't care about the merger. I
Why not?
mean, because it doesn't benefit me, and nor do I ever go into those areas because all people do in those areas is literally look at each other.
Wait, hold on. Look, man. Hey, look, when it comes down to sheer spectrum, like usability, man, it's always good to have more.
Yeah, but it doesn't benefit me where I live in the urban area. Like literally, the only people that are probably going to be happy are the people. I mean, the places where maybe a cow or pig are at.
Oh, look, man, we're gonna start hey, man, we're gonna start slapping cellular devices on these pigs soon. You gotta know where they going, where they going to. Slap them on the cows.
Mhm.
But no, I'm just saying, like with these, I do feel that this is going to help the merger chances or the acquisition chance for T-Mobile to acquire the assets. Because without it, it makes it a little bit more skeptical. But now it's like, hey, U.S. Cellular is being for real, and they are looking to offload completely. I've always thought that they probably want to end up being a tower company anyway, which is
Mhm.
why in the deal for T-Mobile they're letting them lease towers instead of own the towers, which I think that that's their power move right now. Is hey, while these networks are still in flux, don't own the towers yet. But let's see if Verizon gets that chunk, and then we all know that T-Mobile's probably is getting the 24 gigahertz band, the 600 megahertz, and that might be all they're getting. That still leaves CBRS and C-band and the 700 megahertz. So the question is will AT&T jump into this? Maybe I don't know about the CBRS. Verizon's been more aggressive with CBRS of late. Um,
So AT&T, I mean, I'm sorry, T-Mobile and AT&T. I mean, T-Mobile and Verizon are literally the only ones that are building the cake on wireless, and AT&T is just basically playing around with wires on ground and putting fiber wherever they can.
right. Hold on 1 second. Sneed is in the house, people.
What up, man?
Hey man,
What
I need like transitions so I can have like people clapping when they enter the room.
Yay!
I need like as soon as you come in, you get like, oh, ooh, yeah.
like
That'd
the
be cool.
like the Rugrats back then when they would go to Toys R Us on Black Friday, sir.
Hey, that's what you need, man.
I
That's
really
what you
don't care
need.
about the U.S. Cellular merger. I mean, the U.S. Cellular. I mean, because it's basically going to be sold in pieces, and
Well,
basically
they're
everybody's
being.
just
I
going to
mean,
forget about it.
they're breaking themselves apart. Which, look, it was going to be hard for the nation's seventh carrier to really compete against those three juggernauts, especially when you're more regional.
Hmm.
I mean, that was going to be a given. I mean, for you to be able to compete, you would have to have like the deepest spectrum pockets ever. That was the
Yep.
only way. And then even then, you're still got to make deals because people are not going to tolerate having to, always roam on somebody else's network.
I mean, Boost Mobile customers do it.
That's a different case, sir. That's a totally different case. I mean, Dick is trying to look. Echo Star is trying to build a nationwide
Their
network.
plans cost about the same.
$25 a month, people. $25 a month. But let's see. What is your take, my good man, sir, Mister Sneed Mobile Tech?
Yeah, they're crying to the FCC saying we ain't gonna make it. Max is right, bro. They're using the Sprint playbook at the end, giving away service for so cheap they can't make any money. They're just
Yeah,
basically liquidating assets at this point. They got
in this case, the story's even worse than Sprint because they're tiny. They're a lot of their stuff is outdated. They're very tiny, and
Sounds
Comcast.
like Sprint, dog.
Well, yeah, but at least Sprint had what 60. Well, how many customers did they have? Like 50, 60 million customers?
I think at the end it was closer to
Maybe
50.
45 million.
Yeah, I mean, there's no comparison. I mean, U.S. Cellular has only what 3 or 4 million customers, and a lot of them are probably still leaving to this day going to the main three. I mean, they literally are dropping prices because their network is not good. They have the assets for it, but they don't have the funding to basically make it shine.
But you need customers to be able to build a network. I mean, that was always Sprint's
Well,
problem,
yeah,
also.
but I mean, Charlie built out a network, but has not that many customers now.
Yeah, that's a very weird case. I mean, look, the thing is he came in guns a blazing, and it's begs to differ to see what direction they're going to go in right now. But they're saying they have a chance of competing directly with the main three. They feel confident now that after they offloaded well, I think it's still underneath regulatory approval, but they
Yeah,
feel
it still
confident
needs
that it's
approval,
gonna.
but it still needs approval.
But they feel confident now that they can get rid of the satellite business. They can fully compete. But
I don't think there's going to be any trouble getting approval.
I don't think so either. It's only been a matter of time. I think that two dying businesses for coming together to try to save themselves it's the same thing that happened to XM and Sirius.
The only thing that I could see them, the only thing that could probably stop the Dish Network and DirecTV merger is literally the local channels.
Why would that be?
Because they're basically saying that consumers are already like basically leaving, and all these programmers are going to basically start fighting and saying, "Oh, we're gonna block it and this and that," and basically consumers are going to have less choice and all this other stuff because all is basically one umbrella now.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think that they're willing to take those losses to get them the merger done.
And like Edmund, like let's be real. If this merger gets approved, it's literally gonna kill TV faster.
Lavendi.
Oh shit! Like it's literally gonna kill. It's literally gonna kill the TV industry faster.
Yeah, but no. I don't necessarily think it's going to kill the TV industry.
No, okay, the TV industry, not the streaming part. I'm saying like the actual traditional cable TV.
The actual traditional cable TV.
Mm-hmm.
No. No. I don't think so.
Because you have to look at it like this: the XM and Sirius thing it's like people get paid pennies per song or whatever, like the artist.
Yes, they do.
But
But
these cable networks like ESPN wants $10 to $12 per subscriber.
yes.
And
But look, this conversation I've had with you before, I've always thought that you have to get big enough to be able to fight back. Whatever that number is, I feel like they're getting closer to that number,
But
and
and
and then these networks cannot go in and try to bully you. Now, if you're a cable company, they know that your reach is only as good as your front door. You know what I mean?
okay, so I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna just go back to the actual subject because then if not, we're never gonna finish it. Um, like the cable networks are basically now streaming services. They're basically now at your pipe. You either want them at your house directly, or you get them to a third party, or you get them on cable.
Yeah.
And basically, ESPN. I mean, Disney already said that ESPN is going to come out with their actual cable feed directly to the consumer next year.
And that's totally fine. But what I'm saying is that you're still going to want to operate where the people are. And if a YouTube TV or a Sling can ever get enough traction underneath their skids, they're going to have leverage. Even though Disney wants is going to want to go direct to consumer, they're still going to want to be where the people are.
I mean, the people are everywhere, but at the same time, they're also stressing because the TV part is getting very expensive, and that's literally what's going to kill this. That's literally what's going to kill this deal.
I don't necessarily think it's going to kill it, man. I think that two dying companies is not going to get blocked for dying because I mean, even cable companies are feeling the pinch now. I mean, there are articles out there that talk about cable companies seeing losses they've never seen before.
Yeah, because I mean, even like this week or last week, no, it was last week. Charter announced that they're going to start laying off people that do Spectrum Sportsnet in Los Angeles, which is basically one of the largest regional sports networks. They basically do Hawaii, all of Southern California, Nevada, and stuff like that. And so they're gonna basically lay off those people, and
Mm.
all because the programming cost is getting very, very expensive.
Yes. The it how can I say it's
Like
getting
it's so
expensive because
it's so expensive that Dish Network doesn't even want it.
it you're a sole entity doing it by yourself. I mean, ESPN has the benefit of being of scale. That's what you're missing.
No,
You got to
well,
be able
yeah,
to scale you got to be able to scale your operations.
well, the thing is about Disney is that they will literally buy out all these streaming. I mean, all these sports rights, and then will basically be like, oh, let's charge the cable companies more, and the cable companies will be like, oh, well, this is what we're paying, so let's charge all these customers more.
Yes, but what I'm saying is it cable companies have always been at the behest of the we got to raise our rates or we got to raise our rates because things are getting more expensive game. It's a game. I mean, it's always, hey, how can I extort more money out of you at the same time get more money for myself? And if you don't like what I'm doing, I'm gonna turn off everything, and you're gonna have to deal with your customers. That's the game that's always playing. I don't necessarily think that their expenses are getting going higher in per se. It's about money. I see you making money. I want more of your money.
I
Hey,
mean, the cable boxes, the the infrastructure, the maintenance, everything, and then you sell the programming cost. It's not cheap.
programming of what though?
They have to pay. Okay, so they have to pay Disney. They have to pay Tecna. They have to pay Viacom. They have to pay Time Warner.
You
Warner
know,
Media.
of a lot of these last agreements that was getting signed was due to the fact that people were not even signed up for these products and they still get a piece of it. That was the problem. Like there's people who don't like ESPN. I know
Yeah,
everybody that is a crazy thought that
like
ESPN is not favored among some certain demographics, but if people don't watch ESPN, and the cable company still has to pay ESPN for it. Do you think that is fair from a business standpoint?
Okay, I'm gonna give you a good example, Edmund. If if there's a person watching their ESPN, there's probably somebody
Okay.
watching that's a diehard ESPN fan
Yes.
and a diehard fan of Fox News, CNN, HDTV. They're basically keeping all the other channels alive for that one old lady that goes to Dillard's and has to have her damn Golden Girls at night on Hallmark.
That's totally fine as long as she pays for it.
No, she's paying for it, but
No,
basically,
but that little old lady's paying for ESPN and she doesn't even like watching sports.
yeah, but
So from a business from a business standpoint, Brandon, do you think that little old lady should pay ESPN just because ESPN says we're the greatest?
I mean, it's so different than when you move into an HOA neighborhood and you basically are paying for the pool, but you never go to it.
Same thing. But hey, that comes down to moving into the HOA neighborhood. But
Or
I mean, hey, all these things can be negotiated, and I think that that's what they're working on right now. Is hey, look, we're people are moving away from traditional cables per se. They
okay,
don't. They want to. They only want to pay for what they're looking at, not oh, you might want to do it one day in the future.
let's actually go back to the actual subject.
Oh, you talking
Like,
about the $1 billion deal?
yeah, and then from there we'll go on to the next one.
Well, I mean, I go ahead.
I don't really care about the U.S. cellular deal. I don't care. It
Hey,
doesn't
look.
benefit
I think that
me.
it benefits the consumer. Look,
It,
it's
ben-
more of a
it
consumer
no,
play.
yeah, but not all of them don't care for it. Most of them have never heard of U.S. Cellular, and some of them probably get it confused with U.S. Consumer or U.S. Mobile or whatever the heck it's
They
called.
probably do. I mean, come on, man. Everybody's going to look for a way to try to stand out. U.S. Cellular. Hey, look, even there when I was doing research, thinking about it, and looking at it, I got it mixed up from time to time. We're like, hold up. All right, so U.S. Mobile is a MVNO. U.S. Cellular is a MNO.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
hey, look. On the second story that I have, is T-Mobile Ready's 5G Advance launch. So let's see here. So T-Mobile Ready's 5G Advanced launch at the end of the year. So we are finally going to see what 5G can offer.
Mm-hmm.
So
Educate me on the
now,
article because I don't even know what they're talking about, and I haven't really been paying attention to the news recently.
so basically, the long and short of it is this: is we've been only experiencing tidbits of what 5G is. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it hasn't really been fully fleshed out. And what we should be starting to see soon, and I feel that T-Mobile's trying to ready this because their parent company, Deutsche Telekom, is talking about this. And I have another article pertaining to this. That's the reason why I brought this up. Was more along the lines of, hold on one second. It depends on where you live, Jim. If your metro is going to end up getting an upgrade, I just wanted to say that for them. But yeah, so T-Mobile is readying 5G Advanced. So basically, this is probably going to end up being more of a software upgrade. They have turned on 5G standalone completely. So that means that voice goes over 5G. So 5G NR, all the glories of 5G have been bestowed upon us, and right now it sucks.
5G Advanced is a hardware component too. It's not just a software update.
Well, I was just going according to what they were saying in their article. Said it was going to be a software update
Who said
from
that?
their end.
T-Mobile said that?
That's what they said. T-Mobile said, I guess, to one of these guys in our interview.
They're
That's what
either
I
idiots
read.
or liars. You picked.
Huh?
They're either idiots or liars. You pick.
Hey, look, right now, granted, I am seeing 5G standalone. It is not that good yet. Now, I was using Google Meet, and boy, it was bad as I was driving. Now, as I was standing, if I was standing still, not moving, it did better. But handoff from, I think it was handing off from 4G to 5G back again was showing some signs of shakiness.
I'll put
Um,
it like
I
this. Yeah. This is the bottom line.
what's up?
You go to the racetrack with a Yugo and expect to win.
Uh, you said you go to the racetrack with a Yugo.
Yeah, and you would expect to win.
I mean, sometimes people have sleepers, sir. You might have a
Hardware matters.
sleeper.
The hardware matters. I mean, these these lower frequencies and these limited bandwidth channels and this outdated hardware already. It's just not 5G advanced. You look at Rel 18 and what's going to be coming down the pipeline with 19 and so on.
Hmm.
Just there's the hardware just isn't there. So, and I'll be honest with you, man. There's
So
nothing
that's
all
what it
that
says right here.
exciting.
So, oh no, I hear what you're saying. I was just saying that this is where I got it from the article. It said the rollout will end up being a network software update. I know that.
Yeah, it's not gonna. If it's so revolutionary and it could be done over a software update, why are they having such a hard time monetizing?
I think that you need to condition or find the use case that people are willing to upgrade to said products. Which is why, like, the reason why I brought this one up was another article in Fierce was talking about Deutsche Telekom and their monetization of 5G. So I'll pull this one up. Okay.
no, but Edmund, like AT&T rolled this out, I think, a year ago or earlier this year. I can't remember when. That was earlier this year, and people were complaining about it to a point where it's probably one of the main reasons why Verizon hasn't even rolled it out at all.
I think that it's a very hard commitment. Um,
It really is. It
it,
really is.
it's
And
kind of
when
like you're already on this path, which, like I said, from my point of view, has always been they're moving towards something very quickly, and they really, really, really badly want to get to it. Coverage be damn, use case be damn. I feel like they just really want to get to standalone as fast as possible, and
yeah, but
hiccups.
I'd rather them take their time than versus them rewarding themselves and it not being perfect and people start complaining about it.
Well, look, that would be a best case scenario if you didn't have two juggernauts that's sitting right behind you, waiting to pass you. You taking your time is one of those caveats that you have when you're already sitting at the top. You know, Verizon's not gonna doesn't have to move fast. They don't have nothing to prove.
Verizon's
They're
5 years.
they're already the king.
Verizon's 5 years ahead of T-Mobile in 5G advanced.
See. So
Like we're talking,
if Verizon's
we're
ahead of
talking about.
T-Mobile, even though T-Mobile came out first, of course they need to hurry up and get to it.
I'm speaking to the small cell C-RAD millimeter wave build. You can't do 5G advanced over these lower frequencies and expect to have an improved difference that people are willing to pay for. It's not going to happen
Why would you say that?
because there's the fundamental basics of what advanced 5G networking is. Part of it's hardware, part of it's software, You have to have both, and this includes higher frequencies with increased bandwidth. You can't do it on 100 megahertz of N41.
Yeah, I think that the capacity increases that we've experienced with moving towards like NR is a good start, but really nobody needs a gigabit down. There's no use case for it.
It doesn't, but it
And
doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter. The fact that you can create slices means you're creating network boxes. You can't make network boxes with 100 megahertz of N41. It doesn't work that way. You need thousands of megahertz of bandwidth to make individualized network boxes for use cases or for customers or for private networks. It's it's non-negotiable. It's not advanced if you're doing the same shit you were doing 5 years ago.
but 5 years ago, I mean, there was no network slicing on 4G.
I
I
understand, but
mean,
what are
you
you
had these
doing?
different
But
you
Leon, what are you doing right now that you couldn't do on an LTE network?
from a consumer standpoint is exactly the same.
But that's my point. There's no 5G Advanced is going to require immense amounts of bandwidth. You simply can't do it on these lower frequency mid-band channels. It needs millimeter wave. It needs the hardware, and it needs the bandwidth. It's non-negotiable.
But even right now, from the looks of it, millimeter wave still hasn't fully fleshed all the way out. Verizon's done multiple iterations of hardware changes already.
That was a vendor change.
That's true. That's a costly vendor change.
Doesn't cost Verizon anything to have them do the replacement.
Hey, look, I'm just saying, everybody knows that Verizon got them pockets. Everybody don't got those same pockets though.
But if
When
the
you walk up in the
conversation's
club, you
about
can just
5G
throw money in the
Advanced,
air.
but if the conversation's about 5G Advanced, the conversation's about higher frequencies and bandwidth. It's not about software upgrades. That's just ridiculous. Yeah, but I mean, the fact that these people are willing to put this into print is just crazy to me.
Well, look, with Deutsche Telekom being the parent company of T-Mobile, they're talking about slicing up 5G standalone for with gaming offer.
The best
So
thing that
they're talking
Deutsche
about being
Telekom is
able
doing
to.
is fiber. They don't even know what they're talking about.
They're just trying to
Mm.
upsell. They're just trying to upsell something to make a little money on the side.
Well, it's always about trying to make money on the side, man.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to get that true experience because every coverage experience is like we always say anecdotal.
But here's the thing, like what Verizon's offering right now. Basically, they're saying that their main offering on their main, like, let's say their main offering for Verizon means nothing right now. You might as well go to Total or Visible.
No, but all of them, like they're like all of them are like that. Because
No,
no, like Edmund, like let's be realistic. And I've said this so many times, and it sounds like a joke, but it's not. Most people have cat video plans, and they still
they
complain about everything.
and it's good that they have cat video plans because guess what? You could put them in a box. Put those cat video people in a box and make them, if they all of a sudden when their appetites change, when all of a sudden they want to start watching their cat videos in 4K, then
But
you
cat
monetize
videos in
them.
a box doesn't even make any sense. It never needed a box.
I'm
It's
saying,
always the best effort.
but that's what I'm saying. That's what they're trying to do. I understand that you probably don't want to see, the potentials of it, but I'm just saying that their race towards it, good or bad, they're trying to monetize this, and I don't know how they're going to end up doing it. I can only read these articles as such, like them talking about offering gaming. I mean, look at what AT&T did with Turbo. They're saying the first thing they said is, "Oh, it's supposed to improve gaming on Turbo." They're trying to find ways to monetize.
Yeah, but even Turbo is nothing special. It's basically something. It's basically a feature that customers had before. They're just basically
Yeah, they ripped it
upcharging
out.
you.
They ripped it out of my hands and stuck it back on their network and goes, you should buy this.
Yeah, basically AT&T went to the garage sale.
Hey,
I
look,
mean, hosted the garage sale.
Yo, Keon, do you eat Subway?
Oh, what's that?
Do you eat Subway?
Yes.
All right. Do
I've
you
eaten
know that
Subway sandwiches before.
the Subway, the chicken sandwich, the one that's got the painted lines on it? You know what I'm talking about?
You talking about
Yeah.
the fake grilled chicken?
Yeah. Do you know what's in that?
No, I don't know what's in it.
It's 51% chicken.
Well, what's the other 50%?
I don't know.
Yeah, the tuna isn't real either, and the meat.
So my point is when you got these claims, these articles, these explanations, they throw around the term 5G advanced and standalone, and it's 51%. They're not really fulfilling the 3GPP standard for these things. And
Mhm.
it's unfortunately it's false media, it's fake marketing, it's disingenuous. They're not actually doing what they're describing.
Well,
It's form and function, right? So it's the
right.
hardware and the software. It's both. You can't have it one way. You have to have both things to do it, to accomplish it.
I understand that. So you don't. So are you saying that the hardware is not capable?
It's not.
I mean, look, I know that some people are still stuck on some flip phones out there, but majority of
I'm
the
not
people
talking
who are
about
going to
phones.
be
I'm
sent,
talking about vendor radio gear. I'm talking about the stuff that T-Mobile is putting up. I'm talking about that. I'm talking about the bandwidth, the frequencies. I'm talking about the radios. I'm talking about the antennas. I'm
right.
talking about the technical hardware specifications. They are not 5G advanced.
Well, I know
Keon,
that.
can I
I know
software
that
upgrade?
as
Keon, can I software upgrade my iPhone 12 to 5G, 5 carrier aggregation?
let's see. I would say yes, you can, but they won't do it.
No, you cannot, because the modem can't do it. The SoC can't do it. The hardware can't do it.
What is it? The iPhone 12 came out about the same time as what the. Was
2020.
it? Oh yeah, okay. Then no, it can't.
See what I'm
No,
saying?
yeah,
You
no.
can't.
The
Hardware.
like I know a lot of the older Samsung phones can still do it, but like
Keon, can you drive
they
your
never
Tesla
updated
through
the modem to do it.
Keon, can you drive your Tesla through the Mississippi River from side to side?
No, I'm not doing that.
Because you don't have the hardware. You don't have the snorkel. You don't have the waterproofing. The hardware can't do it. A software upgrade will not allow you to drive your Tesla across the Mississippi River.
That's true. But I'm just saying that right now, their movement to this 5G standalone has been like, gosh be damn.
Until
That
they
like
put a
even
5G
right now, like
hardware,
as I look at it, as I'm driving down the road, I'm on a phone call or I'm in a Google Meet and I'm looking at it in real time. You know, they're throwing everything at the wall.
as
Now,
soon as they
I
put a
know that you're
5G
saying that
advanced
their
hardware,
hardware is not capable, but they're doing something.
if they're when they start investing in 5G advanced hardware, to have the conversation.
And
Mhm.
they probably will need in the next 3 years.
We'll have to see reinvestment. We'll have to see the capex go up. That's an indication.
Because in
I
the
think
next
they're gonna take their time, regardless of whatever they do. They're gonna just slow pick at everything. Because I mean, I'm still seeing gaps in the coverage now as they're going standalone. As they're going standalone, I'm starting to see LTE to 5G handoffs in spots that I wasn't seeing it before. where it would normally be like 5G continuous in the same freeway run. I'm starting to see, LTE drop to 5G back again, switching back and forth, which I was like, that's
Does it
strange.
degrade, does it degrade the performance overall, the experience?
I need to do more testing. Uh, the phone call that I was on this morning was bad. I was on the Beltway coming from Dulles Airport,
Because
and I
it's
was at
smoking.
Dulles, and when I was on a meet video call, a private meet video call, it was bad. I mean, terrible.
Because it was constantly switching between those networks.
I think so. When I was stationary, it was fine, but as it was switching back and forth, it was showing problematic issues.
Yeah, it needs time.
But
But
that's going to require more testing.
No, but Edmund, a lot of these 5G investments, they're very, very, very expensive.
They are expensive, that's
And
why I'm like, but my take on it is this is they're be expensive be damn. I mean, I think that it's you could do things a slow way, or you could do slow but guarantee it to be perfect, or you could go throw paint on the wall and we might make Picasso one way or another.
yeah, I mean, because you got this, and then you got Charlie Ergen going to Dollar Tree for everything.
hey, they he's shopping at the slot meet for his. He's like, hey, can I get two for the price of one? Two, I can get two antennas for the price of one. Let's negotiate.
Literally.
Well, let's see. Hey, Brandon, do you have Spotify, sir?
Yes and no.
Well,
That's my
how which one
primary.
is it?
No,
Yes or no?
I have the free tier, but I barely use it. And then I have Apple Music.
Okay. So
Why?
a lot of people that when they hop in my car, they say they have Spotify, and Spotify is changing. They're adding a new feature. Spotify is adding music video support to 85 additional markets.
That's nothing new. I mean, well, YouTube Music obviously is a founder. I mean, basically has been a thing, and then basically Apple Music has had that since day one because obviously through they've been selling it through because of iTunes.
Yeah,
Because I
but here's the thing, like the people who have Spotify, they don't even know anything about music videos, and when they get on my YouTube Music, they go music videos. They're genuinely surprised,
yeah I don't.
and that's kind of where I'm at right now with it. Is
I really
you
don't care about the music videos because now they're too extra now. But um,
now? Why would you say that, sir?
I mean, like music videos back then were cool, but now it's just like, ugh.
A lot of people only look at music videos. Do you not see what goes on YouTube?
I mean, the only time people look at music videos, Edmund, is literally when they go to parties
Yes, and guess what they do at
or
parties?
get
They
together
play the
events.
music video.
Yeah, they pay the music videos, but on your own time, you're not gonna sit there and look at Rihanna dancing Umbrella.
Hey, sir, you got me in trouble last time with Rihanna. Okay, you got me in trouble last time with Rihanna. They're like, yeah, we're gonna have to pause your live. But no, I'm just saying along the lines of it's good to see that Spotify is branching into music videos. I think that a lot of people interact with music through music videos.
Like back then,
I
it
think that's
was
how they
cool,
end up
but
discovering a lot of
like
music.
back then it was cool, but now obviously obviously now they just want to hear the music and stuff like that. They don't really care about the music videos anymore because people now they rather just play with social media and all this other crap.
But you know what? Look, I'm just saying that a lot of the music videos get clipped and put on social media like TikTok that drives you to want to see what the music video was or is.
Eh,
But if you're on a platform that doesn't even let you know the music video is available, how are you supposed to ever know? And then now Spotify is working on this. I did not
Because one of the
know.
things that I've noticed about music videos as well, even though I really don't watch them at all because they're just all over the place, is that they're starting to make music videos 4x3.
You said they start making what?
They starting to make music videos 4x3.
For oh. You wanna know why? Because we're in that 4x3 culture right now.
They need to go kick
Everything,
rocks.
everything, everything's in what is it called? Not portrait.
They
It's in
trying to
landscape. No, landscape.
they
It's portrait. Everything, all videos being shot in portrait because that's how everybody's holding their phones,
mhm.
which is a very odd way of holding your phone, really, to shoot video.
In 4x3.
Yes, even by 4x3. But I'm just saying, like, I'm just pleased to see because as a person who lets people choose the music in their car, Spotify users seem to be the most lost. Even Apple lets you see the music video in some weird form of way, depending on what music videos they have access to. And on top of that, like the fact that their original rollout was not even in the United States, that their deals in the US must have been horrific. They're probably going to end up pulling from what's it V? What's the one that Apple YouTube uses? It starts with a V.
Vivo.
Vivo. They must have didn't get couldn't get the deal with
I
Vivo.
doubt it. Because I think even Tidal also does music videos, if I'm not mistaken.
But they're probably all through Vivo though.
No,
I know that
a lot of them.
Warner Music does their own too.
Well, I'm not sure about Warner Media or Universal or any of those, but um, I'm not surprised Spotify's doing it at all.
Mm, well, hey, look, it's been past due. Look. One of the things I could say is you can tell that these companies are directly competing against each other because Spotify forced YouTube Music to come up with better algorithms for their music. Spotify sees that people like music videos, so they're adding it to their service. They're competing for the customer, and hey, competing for customers is always a good thing for the customer. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Uh, you have a pair of earbuds, right, sir?
Mm.
Well, your smartphone will soon, hold up, support hearing aids also. So this is for the elderly people like myself. I might need some hearing aids soon. I walk around with earbuds in my ear already, so it'll come natural. But FCC says all smartphones must be hearing aid compatible in the next 40 months. Then that's for like people. That's for also for companies that make phones outside the U.S. Their time frame is. Let's see if I can find that in the article right here. It will take a while for the new rules to take effect. Looking at 24 months for handset manufacturers, 30 months for nationwide service providers, and 42 months for non-nationwide providers. So now my father can rock his hearing aids with his cell phone. I mean, a lot of them. The reason why this is a kind of important is because you have a lot of different manufacturers that make hearing aids, and some of them do Bluetooth pairing. A lot of them don't, which makes it harder for support. So this kind of makes it where a vendor that is trying to do new headphones, they have to be compliant to be able to work with cell phones. It's kind of a pain in the butt to have hearing aids, and then you got the cell phone that can actually pump the sound directly into your ears, and you can't use it. So the FCC may or may not be doing a good thing. I think this is a good thing. Standardize this across the board. What you think, Brandon?
Oh, it's complicated.
Look, old man.
No, like it really is because I remember one time my grandpa was like, I wish I could have something like that that I could just fucking put in my ear all day and I could just hear what's around me and stuff like that because sometimes his hearing he can't hear and stuff like that. And I'm just like, well, they're comfortable, but they would probably only last you 2 hours ish, and then after that you'd have to recharge them.
But you know
And
what?
honestly, that's a pain in the ass.
But
Now
people are
they
already
would
doing that now.
no, I mean they are, but the thing is that every 2 or 3 hours that you need them on like at least for what 18 hours or whatever.
Well, here's the thing. If you ever been around somebody who has hearing aids, they don't even like to keep those things in their ears in the first place. They'll put them in for like, let's say, some
No, but a
venue they
lot
gotta
of the
go to.
no, but a lot of the time those people need a lot of the time those people need to have them on because what if they can't hear the door or what if they can't hear the doorbell or their phone ringing?
I mean, have you not been around older people? They don't care. They don't care if they can't hear the doorbell. They're like,
Yeah,
yo, they
but
wasn't expecting you in the first place.
no, but admin, like there's some of them that live on their own.
Yes, and they don't care. No, what I'm saying is
But
look at it from
I
this
get
standpoint. So let's say that you need a hearing aid. You hate wearing it all the time. Now, granted, a lot of these hearing aids have better battery life than these earbuds, which I think that eventually the technologies are going to come down and filter into like AirPods and earbuds and stuff. But they can wear their earbuds for 18 hours, no problem. The problem is here you have your cell phone and you want to listen to music. You have to turn the music up loud when you could just pump it directly into your ear.
mhm.
It makes the devices more universal. Instead of the only way I can listen to music is I gotta turn the music up on my stereo, with my 8 track stuck in there. That's the only way I can listen, and I gotta turn it up loud. But I got these earbuds that's already in my ear, and I can't even utilize them the way I would like to. That's kind of how I look at it.
No,
It
but
gives you more flexibility. But go
no,
ahead.
but no, but I get where you're saying that they should like yeah maybe like 2 or 3 hours it'll last you, but there's some people where they just need to have it on at all times regardless because some older people have really bad hearing.
That a lot of people do have bad hearing. I
A
agree with that.
lot,
I'm just saying
like it's so selective, or they basically almost sound like they're hearing mute.
that, yeah. Hey man, that's severe hearing loss.
Yeah.
But hey, look, I'm just glad to see that FCC is finally mandating this across the board. I think that it's going to make it where earbuds are going to become more prevalent, and if this becomes a use case, better battery life for these music devices in our ears. I mean, come on, 2 hours of hard use. These things have bigger batteries in them than hearing aids do, and the hearing aids only thing it does is re-amplify the sound from outside.
Mhm.
How are you getting 18 hours of battery life on something that's smaller than these earbuds?
I don't know, but I would imagine that if that were to become a thing, they probably would make some very premium high end ones that would basically last all day, but they're probably gonna cost AirPods Max prices.
Of course, because I mean these earbuds, like what is it? These hearing aids, they're not cheap. They're not cheap at all.
They're very expensive.
So why would you make a cheap version when you can go after the premium?
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
basically the
they're
government will pay for it.
ha, hey, go ahead and get the money for it.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. I mean, look, it'd be nice for me to just hand my father a pair of earbuds instead of waiting for his other ones to finish charging. He can listen to music, he can listen to podcasts, whatever he want to listen to, and then seamlessly switch between hearing aid and music.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't see why we can't do it, but the future is bright. All right, so Brandon, let's see. I got a few more stories. This is the gaming side. I know you probably don't care, but I got a nice little special treat. Your Kia Boys is back, but I'll get to that in just a moment. Um, here. So a little bit of gaming news.
I'm not a gamer at all. It takes too long. And it's too freaking expensive.
Gaming can be very expensive, which is why it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, sir. But this is something that a lot of gamers may or may not. A lot of gamers should know this, but they may not really think about it. And this is Valve. Is Valve is a producer or a reseller of games on PC, and a lot of people like myself, I buy games through Valve or Epic's Game Store or Microsoft Game Store. And for the most part, what a lot of people don't realize is you don't really own these games. The ownership is never there now because everything is digital download. And
Mhm.
they give you these bundle deals, like you can get a whole bunch of games for like 12.99, 13.99, 14.99. Ooh, I got 10 games for that price. You're not really buying the games themselves because you don't have the install UI for it. You don't have the executable file to install the game directly on your device. It goes through Steam's interface, and
Mhm.
when the company that you bought it from decides not to want to sell it no more, they just yank the plug.
Yeah.
And so from a gamer standpoint, is this, I'm just asking this question to the viewers more than anything. Does this bother you that now, there, because there's different laws coming up saying that do you own said product? Do you own the executable file to play said game? Or in this case, they're saying you only have a license to play said game. Because after your license is up, you don't own the game no more. You don't have access to the game no more. And this is something that the gaming industry is going to have to start coping with soon, because the humble bundle is one of the biggest things on Steam, and people claim that their gaming library looks huge, but really you just have a bunch of certificates saying that you can play that game. It eats up space on your hard drive, but once that certificate burns out, you just uninstall and move on to the next. And I think that the days of ownership of games are pretty much done, because it needs to reside somewhere physical. There's a company in this article they brought up. Let me pull it up. Let me see. Where's it called? Where
So
is
I
it?
gotta go do some things. It was nice talking to you and stuff like that.
Oh, not a problem, sir. Hey, look, I was gonna get to the Keo boys next, but I know you gotta run. But there's a company that exists called Good Old Games, and they give you the direct they give you the direct, let's see, I'm gonna pull it right here. As a purchase of a digital product on GOG grants you the offline installer. And that's one of the things is you need the offline installer. That means that when you're not connected to the web, you need to be able to connect. You need to be able to open that file up. And the way it's set up right now, if you like, a lot of these games they do like minor updates to them. They update some new shaders, some new, you know, gear in the game. They won't even let you play until you get the update. So that means that you really don't have any control over this game at all. You're just an innocent bystander sitting here waiting for the game owner to, refurbish their game for you to make it better. But I know that there's people out there, I know conversation I've had with No Radio, he likes to play the storyline of games. I haven't played the storyline in games in a long time. And a lot of times they have to force me to play the storyline just to get access to said loot of what I want to get at. This right here should be a, a better step forward. I being able to grab the actual installer, and if I really love the game and I want to be able to play this game into eternity, and I want to give it to my little kids if I ever have any, I think that they're gonna have to start offering this as a upgraded package. Hey, look, you can get this license. Okay, that's fine. But how much is it gonna cost for, let's say, the installer? I want a I want to be able to install this on anything that I have and play it wherever I want, whenever I want, even when you go out of business. So, physical media is pretty much dead. The problem is hard drives can die. So if you have installer on on a thumb drive or a hard drive, and these companies go belly up and they disappear, you lose access to it. As it says right here, kiss goodbye to that collection. So physical media, or do you just play the game until a new one comes along and don't really have any physical ties to said game? That's how I'm playing now. I mean, if I don't like the game anymore, I move on to the next. Let's see, Marcus. It says the hardcore are talking about games. Well, I would say for the most part, hardcore people they don't really stay with games that long. You always want the next best thing. You always want to be able to have that next adventure on the horizon. I mean, I used to play Destiny 2 a lot. Now I don't play as much because it got old to me and I want something new. I knew going into playing that game that I would never own any of that products. Yes, I paid a lot of money for it, but there's no downloadable content that's going to be mine for me to play, nostalgically, because a lot of the stuff is server based. You're logging in to a server to play. So, let's see. Give me. Come here. All right. So if you follow my channel, I do talk about electric vehicles. on my channel. No, Jim, I don't have a Best Buy membership. I don't. Um, Best Buy is like catnip to me, and it's dangerous because I want to buy everything from said Best Buy. Yes, I am still live. Thank you, Tesla Tech. But yeah, I don't have a Best Buy membership because that Best Buy membership would make me even poorer than I'm already am. But with the EV batteries are one of the points of contention when it comes to electric vehicles today. And said articles have come out talking about this problem. So now I think that, is there a chance that you can end up getting a vehicle that has problems? That can happen to anybody, anywhere, anytime. But I do think that, you know, technology and mass producing technology makes things a lot cheaper for the said consumer. Hold on one second. Tesla Tech says, let's see. I'm still just poor like you. Man, if you got a Tesla, you ain't poor. Look, I'm basically, got my Tesla on loan, but he said he's poor like me, had to start driving for Uber Eats. Hey man, I saw somebody driving a BMW i3, what, like a i3 four door. I don't know if it was i3 or something, doing Uber Eats too. So don't be surprised. Everybody's using their assets for what they need to use it for. But EV batteries to fall by nearly 50% and near internal combustion engine parity by 2026, says Goldman Sachs. So, if you know anything about mass producing technology, it's one of those things that you kind of want to get to a larger scale to make it cheaper for said producer, but you also want to be able to make money off of it also. So the cheaper it is for the manufacturer to make, the more they can make of it, which eventually filters down to consumers being able to afford said product. Let's see. Tesla Tech, he says that his battery went out in his car. Uh-oh. Said the battery went out in his car. I have to drive for Uber. Well, hey, look, in the comments below, do you know what they said about what happened? I'm curious to find out. I know that degradation is normally the overall factor. Like if it ends up degrading a whole lot faster than what the car can handle. I know that Tesla vehicles will break very fast if something's not right. Um, but while I'm waiting for that response, one of the bigger things that slows down adoption rate is price. How much does things cost? And I have, as a Uber driver, a lot more people have gotten into my car and talked to me about, hey, how much does it cost to drive? Is this worth it? Um, how can I, get into this? Tesla Tech says he had only 89K. Woo. Well, you should be able to get a battery replacement through Tesla, because I think all the vehicles come with battery warranty for up to like 120K. So they should be replacing that for free for you. No problem. No questions asked. Depending on how long you've had your car for, but I seriously doubt that anybody's had their Tesla longer than 8 years right now. I know that that's what they're offering. And he says he voided his warranty. Whoa. Uh, how much is the aftermarket? I know a used battery from Tesla is like 10 grand. He says his 0 to 60 is less than 3 seconds. Ooh, 8K. That is a steep hill to climb. Hey man, I'm right there with you. Hey, look, the newer technology always comes with bugs, but don't void your warranty though. Let's see. He says I took it down to San Antonio to get a replacement. Right, right. Hey, I wish you the best, all the luck in the world, man. Prayers and everything. I know when it comes to like these unexpected, um, unexpected transitions, like battery going out. Hey, I could have had a gas car and the engine go out, and I have no way of fixing it. It throws a rod. Blown head gasket. Let's see. He also says, anyways, he got to get back to driving. Hey, work hard, stay safe. But I would say, like for me, I have a double warranty on my battery. I have a warranty through CarMax, and I have a warranty also through Tesla. They're running concurrent with each other. The standard battery warranty, I'm like what at 40,000 miles, 43,000 miles right now. So I got less than 10,000 miles before they won't cover anything that has to like in the vehicle itself. But then the battery warranty and powertrain warranty is up to 120,000 miles. But let's see. Oh, hey, look, I'm not. Believe me when I tell you, I can't afford it, and there's not enough Uber Eats in the world that's gonna save me from that monster. Now, don't get me wrong. I love driving my EV. I'm not. I might not be a big fan of Tesla, but as a driver of an electric vehicle, I would not prefer it any other way. That's just me personally. I think that the transition is being halted. One due to price and the insurance. So right now, as it stands, basically, if you get into an electric vehicle, you are going to run into the wall of pick your poison. So yes, you are going to have less. You're going to have less overhead when it comes to buying gas. If you own a home, even better. You could plug in your car at home. Bam, your home becomes your gas station. But insurance companies are gouging higher. Now, granted, they're coming down, but you're trading one monster for another. The battery packs are coming down in price, which means that overall the whole industry should be coming down because the cheaper it becomes to get these battery packs into cars, the more likely an insurance company feels comfortable with being able to afford a replacement. So Jim says his Honda Civic has 116K on it and it still passed. Hey, look, man, I had what my Highlander, I had 175K on it before I traded it in. So don't get me wrong. Hey, gas cars are still going to be around, but the efficiency is where it's at. I think that a lot of the talking points are still filtering. They're still filtering through everybody's mindset. They're now everybody's saying that EVs are where it's at, and I'm like, you might as well just go ahead and go full electric. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get a hybrid. You're gonna get a hybrid, and then you're gonna realize that hey, I'm not driving many miles. Why should I be paying that much in gas? Which is why I'm talking about this subject, Jim. The price of the batteries are coming down to the point that once they get to the place where it costs just as much as an ICE car, it makes buying an EV the barrier to entry a lot lower. The mindset is already there. People are already thinking about getting an electric car. I talk to a lot of people in my car talking about electric vehicles while I'm driving around in one because people are curious about it. They don't have anybody to really talk to about it. There's not many places that you could talk to somebody and talk to them about, hey, what's the pros and cons? What's the do's and don'ts? You know, sometimes after I get people to their destination, they're still sitting in my car while I'm talking to them about said subject. So what does that say to me? That says that people want to know about it, but they don't have anybody to talk to about it. So the fact that battery prices can start falling more, and in this article, they're talking about a 50% reduction in basically battery packs. So if was it Tesla Tech guy is paying 8K, they're talking about 4K, probably for a refurbish, which puts it in line with the ICE vehicles battery replacement and engine replacement. So $4,000 versus 8,000 is still $8,000 a higher, steeper, heavier climb, but a $4,000 replacement is a whole lot better. But like right here, it says global average battery decline from $158 per kilowatt hour to $149 kilowatt hour to 111, and they're talking about dropping to $80 per kilowatt hour by 2026. So understand the battery costs with them coming down makes it where it makes it harder for you to really justify buying even a Honda Civic. And these battery prices falling are walking tandem directly with legislation. So here, while I'm still on this, battery price forecast to continue falling. As you can see, 2019 was at 180. I would say that was at 180 kilowatt hour for materials. And now we're talking about going all the way down under 80. So making these better, more energy dense, and more viable is what brings down the prices of consumer electronics. But legislation also makes it easier for people to adopt to said electric cars. So here, this is for my area, which is going to make my life even better. So as a person who does Uber in Washington, D.C., Washington, D.C. right to charge a huge boost for EVs at apartments. So there's different apartments in the District of Columbia. And I mean, some of these apartments have grocery stores tied to them. The one that I frequent on a regular basis have charging stations inside the parking garage with the giant that right next to the apartment complex. And they're starting to put charging booths in, and that's going to make driving an EV in the District of Columbia way better. So not only am I driving an efficient vehicle, but there's going to be more places for me to plug in my said car into to get a charge. I have more options. And the more options you have, the more comfortable you feel about said operating an electric vehicle. One of the things that people do have is range anxiety. I don't necessarily think they care if the vehicle can get 100 miles of range or 200 miles or 300 miles of range. They just want to be able to know that if I need to plug in, can I plug it in and get some juice? And this is going to be one of those things that curbs people appetites and make people a lot more open to electric vehicles in the District of Columbia. I know that in this article they said that there's a California version of this also, but basically what they're doing is they're mandating apartment complexes, renters, different places that have a lot of even gas stations to put charging stations in, which is one of the things that kind of does annoy me as a EV owner is that a lot of gas stations don't put in charging units. A lot of that has to do with the fact that um, the gas stations, they don't want people to migrate over. Let's call it what it is. Last thing you want to see is while you're pumping gas, that person sitting over there charging their car looking happy, because you're paying regardless of how fast it is. I know that Brandon, if he was in here, he likes to poke fun at me about my EV and going, "Hey, look how long it takes for me to pump my gas." But when you see somebody driving a hefty vehicle that burns a lot of gas, and you turn around and look at that person who's driving an EV, and they only paying, 12, 13, $14, and you're putting $45 of gas in your tank, there's a big difference between who's happier. I was it in 2008 when gas prices jumped to like $5, almost $6 a gallon. You had people throwing their H2 Hummers into the ocean. They were throwing them into rivers. They were like, "I'm done with this," because it was costing them $130, $140 to put gas in that thing, and they were only getting like 7 or 8 miles to the gallon. These vehicles were highly inefficient and terrible on gas mileage. They were basically just bricks floating down the road. They aerodynamically sucked. And people bought them until, when gas is $2.50 a gallon, you buy anything. When it hit $8 a gallon, people were buying Priuses left and right. So it's the same problem. But this is one of those things where legislation will encourage more people to start buying electric vehicles too, because then they can see, oh, hey, if I live down the street from that gas station and it has a charging station there, you know what, I can buy an electric car now. I do feel comfortable knowing that there I can charge up my car because it's something I already used to when it comes to gas stations. That gives people more comfort with knowing that they have options. So where you might stand at on that, totally upon y'all. I do like this idea. DC Mayor Mario Bowser. I don't think they have signed this into law just yet. They're probably waiting to hear from all the gas station owners about this. But overall, this is a good thing for the consumer. All right. All right. So I wish Brandon was in here. He likes to joke about this one. But the Kia boys are back.
Local sports coverage from big leaguers to big dreamers. The Fox 6 Sports Blitz, Sundays at 10:30.
Sorry about that. So the Kia boys are back. And they call it the Kia Boys 2.0. The teens have found a way to break into Kia cars, and the response is comical. So we're back at it again. Basically, the cars that Kia and Hyundai put out, yes, they were cheaper. They were cheaper to make. It was a TikTok sensation. People were driving around. Hey, that's not their car. If they wreck it, who cares? Understand that's the mentality that people were having. They're having fun at somebody else's expense, and these vehicles were overtly easy to get into. Basically, the first way that it was being done was basically they just shorted out the steering column. I don't know exactly how they did it. I just know that it was weird that you could use a USB cable wires and rip the steering column down, and then all of a sudden the car will start by just touching the ignition. Now, of course, Kia and Hyundai got sued for this. They mandated that they had to fix this. The immobilizers, a lot of car keys have chips in it, so it should not work. That's the whole crazy thing. If you have a chip in your key, they should not be able to turn the engine over. The engine, if you ever seen how it works on YouTube, there's people who've done videos about it. But basically, even the cheaper versions, you requires the chip not even inside the key, but to be near the key ignition for it to even turn on. So the fact that we're back at it again says something about Kia's and Hyundai's cheapness to their vehicles. So if you have a Kia or a Hyundai, you might want to take your car back again to the dealer. They said that there's a software fix for this. I don't know if there's any software fix there. They've gotten even more sophisticated now. They're taking the door handles off cars now to get into the car, which that tells you how. I mean, you could break a window, but apparently they want to be able to ride around in the car for longer and not get rained on. So it's easier for them to take off the door handle and not break the window, and then they can go on. They can go on some longer rides. That's pretty much what it is. I want to drive for longer. Glass. I'm sitting on glass doesn't make everything well, but they no longer have to break the internet, break the window to get into the car. He is going to have to do something about these things. Basically, get a wheel steering lock to put on your car. That's a low tech way of doing it. Sometimes you just got to go low tech to be able to foil some people's happiness. But that's Kia Boys 2.0. And let's see. The last story I have is from last week. So if you watch the Elon Musk's presentation, you might have saw some similarities in said robot, robo taxi, robo van. You might have saw some similarities in said products. And if you ever seen the movie I, Robot, the director of I, Robot accuses Elon Musk for taking his ideas of the new Tesla robot, van, and more. Hey, Elon, can I have my designs back, please? Very similar. Very similar. So I did notice the similarities as I was watching the event that these robots, the robo taxis did have a similarity to the vehicles of design, even the robo van. So let's pull it up. Between the robots themselves, that was the robot carrier in our robot. This is supposed to be the people carrier for the van. And if I click on this, it pulls it away. But the fact that the doors go up on the robo taxi itself and the vehicle that the character that was played by Will Smith gets out of his car, the door opens up automatically. So I presume that, life imitates art and art imitates life. But sometimes copying without an idea is kind of bad. But I've never really been a big Elon Musk fan. That's just me. But I know that sometimes I don't really think that he's a truly nerd. As a person who's, lives this life, you have appreciation for the finer things of technology. I think that he just looks at something and goes, "Ooh, that's cool," and I want to take it. And understand, being a billionaire, you can do that. But I'll leave that up to the audience to decide. For me personally, I just call him a big old billionaire copycat. But that's pretty much it for this evening. Remember, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel for any updates, news, and whatnots. I do still do my speed testing videos. So on the cellular side, no more testing is needed to be done to find out how well T-Mobile's 5G standalone, full standalone network is going to be performing. Right now, the preliminaries are not looking good. T-Mobile, like I said, is pushing very hard to go to 5G, and I'm saying at what cost? Like, what is the end goal for this push? I just think that they really, really, really want to get to 5G faster than their competitors, and it might have something to do with monetization. So, I'm gonna be still doing more testing. So look at the videos on my channel about that and some new ones coming up soon. I'm probably gonna end up doing a coverage test soon. So now that they're doing standalone 5G, will that interfere with their coverage ability? And the only way I'm going to be able to do it is do a hard run with data continuous. So this is going to be an interesting groups of tests that I'm going to have to do soon. If you want to be able to provide news to said channel, to this channel, you have Twitter/X, and you also have memberships. So if you want to be a member, that is the pay for way to contribute. If you are not as pay for inclined, that's understandable. And then you want to be able to contribute to the channel, send your articles at Community Tech Channel and at also Keon81 on X. So those are the different ways that you can contribute also and be part of the community. I'm looking forward to seeing what y'all send. If y'all decide to send, maybe you got to warm up to the idea. I don't know. But thank y'all for watching, and y'all have a good one.